need to remember is that I only use the nominal section. So when I look at the trial balance here, I see I'm literally going to rewrite this. So what I do before I start with the adjustments, I go and I put a framework for myself. So I see I already got sales, which is 822,943, less debtors allowance 30. So don't be tempted to put debtors allowance as an expense. Yes, it is an expense. But here we separate the types of expenses. Okay. Next, I see rates and tax. Oh, cost of sales. And cost of sales. Why do I write it here? Oh, sorry. 427.
Because it might change.
Because it might change. We still have adjustments. So now I go. Rates and taxes. So I just write rates. And that is 2340. Water and electricity. Please abbreviate on these things because I just need to see that you know what expense it is. Okay? Okay. Stationary is, but please don't just say S. Because S can be stationary, it can be salary, it can be sweets, supersonic, anything. So stationary, it's 1635. Rent income is an income 31920. Bad debt. Can you see I always try and write some of the word? Okay. Then they can't say you abbreviate it in such a way that it looks like chemistry. Okay. Repairs. Repairs usually goes with maintenance. Telephone. So this is not the instrument. This is the airtime. Okay. Bad debts recovered is once I've written off a debtor and now he pays me. Why would he do that? Oh, because he didn't know that you bad debted him. It's not part of his knowledge. Okay. Insurance 44. Wagens 28971. Bank charges 1620. Packing material 1122. And then I see interest. And interest is a different ball game. I just want to see how I gave it. Can you see I gave it to you already? So I see there's an interest on fixed deposit. This is what I already received. Okay. So this, if it's capitalized, it's already included in the fixed deposit amount that they give me here. If it's not, then it will be included in my bank because I received it. Okay. Always remember that if an amount is in the trial balance, it's recorded. They will not show something in a pre-adjustment trial balance that's not recorded because where do they get this from? From your general ledger. And that means it's recorded. Okay. So now everything is done that I can, and now we can start with the adjustments. And the first adjustment is they say the following transactions have not been recorded. We issued a debit note. So a debit note, if we issue a debit note, we're talking duplicate debit note. So we're talking creditors. We issued a debit note for trade discount omitted, and omitted is the fancy word for left out. On repairs done, 37. So I need to remember that 37 is going to be deducted from my repairs. And just for myself, I'm going to say I have to remember when I do the balance sheet that I also need to take into account the creditors control. We also returned goods to Cheshire wholesalers. So again, we returned it to them, so it's creditors. So please remember, this will influence my payables. And it influences my trading stock. And for trading stock, I will always draw a little T. Why will I draw a T? because there can be a lot of things happening in trading stock. So I have an opening balance for trading stock according to my trial balance 66,125. I am now returning goods 4,002. So now my stock is already less. Okay. And why do I care about trading stock? I'm most busy with the income statement, and this is a balance sheet account. Because if they give me a stock take, I need to compare my books with the physical stock take and see if there's a deficit or a surplus, which will go into the income statement. So let's have a look. A physical stock take shows the following. Now I know this is the note for inventory in the balance sheet. So for trading stock, it's 59,300. So already I can say 59 plus 4 gives me 63. It's less than my balance. So it's going to be a deficit. So I'm going to have a trading stock deficit. Please write all the words. You can abbreviate it like this. Okay. But please don't just write trading stock. Deficit, so I can say it's 66,125 less 42 less 59,3, and then my deficit is what?
You still need to write it if you did the table on top.
No. If the marker can literally see this, you don't have to rewrite it. And some of you are good linear. I'm not good working like this. My brain immediately goes to T's. But if you're good working linear, you know, you take the trial balance amount, you do whatever the adjustment says, and then you subtract the stock take. It's always like that. Okay, so what is my deficit?
2625.
Okay, so obviously if the answer was a bracket, you would have moved all of this to income, because then it means you had a surplus. Okay, so write it down for yourself. You always take the trading stock in the trial balance plus or minus whatever adjustments they give you minus the trading stock in the stock take. Okay, if it's positive, it's a deficit. If it's negative, it's a surplus. You guys get what I did? Or you can be like me and just go and draw a T. If your balance is on the plus side, obviously it's a surplus. If it's on the minus side, the difference, then it's a deficit. Okay. So, next one, I see stationery. So stationery, remember now, this is what I didn't use, not used. That which is not used is an asset and it goes to the balance sheet. But I'm going to subtract it from my stationery because I want to show what was used. That's my expense. So how much was used? 1635 less 285 gives me?
1350.
So this is the amount I bought this year. This is what I used, and this is what I didn't use, meaning I'm going to use it tomorrow, the next financial year. Okay, that's what we call consumable stores on hand. Next. After the pre-adjustment trial balance had been drawn up, Moodley Traders, who's Moodley? That's me, eh? Moodley Traders received a bank statement. So I know all of this, I must remember it's going to influence my bank. So when I do the balance sheet, I must remember bank. Now, a balance sheet is most minus plus. So in other words, if they say it's been credited, it means it's a positive thing. If they say it's been debited, it's a negative thing. Credit would be an income, debit would be an expense. So now I see the credit on the bank statement was for interest. So I go to interest income and I add the 97. And the bank charges is the service fees. Ne? Can you see they check that you know the word for service fees, the accountanese for it is bank charges. Everybody still happy?
Yes.
On 18 February, a first and final dividend of 25 cents in the rand was received from the insolvent estate of a debtor. Meaning, he owes me 100 cents. He paid me 25 cents. Meaning, I'm going to bad debt 75 cents. Okay, now they say he owed me 1.2. Can you see the 1.2 is the 100? Okay? So, what do I want? The bad debt. So I'm going to say 1.2. What do I want? The 75. What do I have? The 100. So, add to your bad debts
900.
for what?
900. It's just
On the dot for 900.
yes.
Okay, so 900 rand. No. Oh, okay, yeah, it's true. So now I just want to see which part was recorded. They say the amount received was recorded. But can you see, this 900 must still go to the debtor's control. It's still not recorded. Okay. Sharp. Now we get to provision for bad debts. So provision for bad debts, you follow your steps. So the first step, I'm going to write it down nice and slow. Provision for bad debt. I'm going to say to you, okay, step 1 is I take the debtor's control and I plus or minus the adjustments. Right, because it means this debtor's control that I have here, so I'm going to do it here for you. This debtor's control of 17,975 has not taken into account the adjustments here. So I want to see which of these adjustments made a difference to the debtor. Oh, so far only that 900, see ya? Only that 900 that I bad debted. Am I right? So I'm going to subtract the 900. Why? Because this guy's now bad debted, so he does not owe it to me. So now what is my debtor's control now? 17,075. Right. Now they say, the provision must be adjusted to 4% of the outstanding debtors. So that's my step 2. I'm going to calculate my new provision for bad debts. Right. So I'm going to say 17,075 times 4%, and that's going to give me what?
683.
683. In other words, here I see provision for bad debts. I don't want it to be 870 anymore. I want it to be 683. Okay. So now I'm going to step 3, subtract the old one, which I get in the trial balance. And I just saw it's that 870. Is that right? And now I see it gives me the provision for bad debts adjustment, which is how much? 187. That's my adjustment, and this will go to the income statement. Okay, but now, what is the sign in front of the 187? Negative. So this sign, if it's negative, it's an income. If it's positive, it's an expense. And it makes sense. Because if I kept 870 rand here in my drawer, ne? And now I want to make it 683. Can you see I'm going to take money out of the drawer and put it in my pocket? It's for me an income. You see? But if I wanted to make it 900 Rand, I would have had to take 30 Rand out of my pocket, put it into the drawer, expense the 30 Rand. Okay. So only the difference between the new and the old goes to the income statement. So now, that 187 is going to be an income. So in my income, I'm going to say 187 provision for bad debt adjustment. Can you see? Only the 187. Tomorrow when we, or Monday when we do the balance sheet, I'm going to tell you this new one, the 683, is the one we're going to use in the balance sheet. So this is the balance sheet, this is the income statement. Okay, so the new one, balance sheet, the difference, adjustment, income statement. Easy as this. Now I go on, next one. You've got a whole weekend and a Friday to figure this out. Okay. So the next one is my loan statement. And when I see the loan statement, I'm very happy because I know I need to calculate my interest expense. And if they don't give me the interest expense, there they say the capitalized interest for the year is a question mark. I am extremely happy because it means I can sing. So you use your arrows, you say, you have a loan tea party, a loan tea party, loan tea. And there I go. And I say, I've got an opening and a closing and a bank, interest on loan. Okay. So my opening, they give me 980. My closing, they give me 820. How do I know? Because they say, oh, balance, beginning, balance, end. And already by writing that, you've got 1, 2, if you remember to bracket interest, 3 marks. You see? Can you see why you have to show this? Because here they give me monthly repayments that has to be calculated, and I can calculate it wrong. So, but you can still get that 3 marks. So now let's have a look. They say monthly repayments, 12 months, 23,840. They were very friendly by saying it like that. They could have just said monthly repayments, 23,840. Then you would have to know we are busy with the whole financial year, so I still need to times it with 12. Okay, so what's my payment?
286,080.
Okay, now what do I know? This is the difference between the opening and the closing and the interest. Okay, so how will I calculate? I will say 286 plus 820 minus 980 gives me interest.
2608.
Don't get angry with me. That too you didn't mention. You were like 1, 6. Ne? So it's 126. It looks like 60 Rand there. 126080. And there's your, this will be 2 ticks. So this whole thing would count 5 marks for you.
What?
Exactly. Everybody happy? Next one. Water and electricity were received but not yet paid. Can you see it's a payable? So this is a payable. I need to pay the bill. So it means this is the expense for this year. I have not paid it yet. So it means I need to add it because it's still part of the expense. You still remember accrued plus future minus This is accrued. Accrued means it's going to make it more. Okay, so my expense is actually more. It's 1 is it? 1155. Huh? One. What's the total? Oh, I'm at the wrong one. Sorry, it's 3570. What is bad debts while I'm here? It's 1155. 1155. I don't know where you get it. Okay. Here we go. Next one. Next one they say, listen, insurance. So I know insurance is an expense. And I know insurance is always prepaid.
Yeah.
Because did you know, if I have, for instance, a funeral cover, and this month I was so sick in hospital, I didn't get to paying it. And now I die. They will not pay for my funeral. Even though I've paid that funeral plan for 20, 30 years. Why? Because I didn't pay this month. Can I tell you something? Now, let's go. So in other words, when I see insurance, I immediately go to my face and I say, minus. Why minus? Because I pay the beginning of the month to be covered for the month that's coming. Okay, so in other words, I pay you for protection. That's what it is. Isn't that the old way how the mafia worked, how they made their money? If you look at these old movies, then the guys go and they punch the people in the shops because they didn't pay for their protection.
Remember?
This is the same thing. It's the same principle. Okay. So now let's calculate. They say the insurance includes an annual premium. Annual meaning 12 months. Rio? 12 months. Okay. So if I look here, first of all, can you see your insurance is 4,400? So I just told you a few different insurances that's already been included. Remember, the premium is to keep the insurance alive. So this is the premiums. So I pay a premium on my life insurance, a premium on the car insurance, a premium if you're a business on the stock insurance because you insure your stock, a premium on the there's so many different insurances. I even saw the other day that you can take out insurance if you are taking a taxi every day. For if that taxi is in an accident, then that insurance will pay out if you had injuries.
Jennifer Lopez has insurance on her bum.
On your bum. Yeah, because it's an income. There's a lot of dancers. There's a lot of dancers who have insurance on their legs and singers on their voices, because that is the selling point. Okay, let's go on. So now I take, can you see this is less than the 4,400 because this is just one of the premiums. And this premium I paid, so my known is 12 months. You remember UK?
Yes.
So the known is 12 months. What's the unknown? The period in advance. So I can do it one of two ways. If I draw my financial year, I see, if I look here, it ends 29 Feb. Okay? So 29 Feb, meaning it started 1st March. So this premium was paid 1st December. Can you see it doesn't fall in my year, it falls in this year and next year, because I paid for the 1st of December till the 30th of November. So this part here is prepaid. So you can do it one of two ways. You can say, okay, so December, January, February, 3 months is for this year, meaning 9 months is prepaid. Or you can say, I start counting from the end of my financial year till the end of my insurance, which would be March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months. And that gives me what?
1080.
Okay. And I must remember this prepaid. Is this a receivable or a payable in the balance sheet?
A receivable.
It's a receivable because I overpaid. Ne? I paid over the year.
I paid what?
So they actually need to give me that money back. But they're not gonna because I want the service.
So they owe me the service.
So they actually owe you the service then. Okay. So my insurance is going to be what?
3320.
Okay. 20%, 20,000 of the fixed deposit will mature the end of June. Can you see we are now 29 Feb. Does it have any influence on the income statement? No, because which part of the fixed deposit influenced the income statement?
Insurance.
The interest on fixed deposit. And if I'm only going to receive it back next year, is it going to influence my interest this year? No. So this is balance sheet, ne? This is the face. So here we come to our favorite one.
No.
A set of offices was let from 1st Jan for 2,400 per month, and the rent increased 1 January to 640 per month. Now can you see this isn't like we've done it before. What do they actually tell me here? My financial year is here, ne? 1st March, 29 Feb. So I see I'm going to divide it in 2 parts.
April to December.
Okay. And I'm going to see here, it was first 2,400 and then it increased to 2,640. Okay. So now let's see. From the 1st of January, that's right at the start when I started renting, it was 2,400. And this only increased on the 1st of Jan. So can you see this gives me 10 months. And this gives me 2 months. So 2,400 times 10 gives me 24. 2,640 times 2 gives me.
5280.
So my rent is.
29,280.
That's my income. So if I draw my rent income, ne? Let's quickly go look. I don't even have to draw it. If I go here to rent income,
It says 39.
can you see that 29,280 is my income?
For the year.
This is how much I received. Can you see I received more than my income? So what is the difference? Can you see I subtracted something? What is that difference?
2640.
Can you see 2640 is a month's rent? So it means I received 1 month in advance. That is going to go
Accrued expense.
as an accrued expense. And an accrued expense, is it a receivable or a payable? It's not an accrued expense. This is an income received in advance. Sissy, income received in advance. And now I'm asking you, it's the same if a prepaid expense is an asset. An income received in advance is a liability, ne? Because now I actually owe the tenant the 2,640 because he paid me too much. He already paid me, but he doesn't want it back because he's still renting next year. You get what I'm saying? Everybody shut. There's no more adjustments, so I can literally go and close off.
Depreciation.
Where?
We did not do depreciation.
Where?
Give us.
Where?
They don't.
There's no depreciation. I'm not missing anything.
You don't subtract.
No. Remember, the accumulated is not a nominal.
No.
And they didn't give you the newest ones. So they didn't want to test it. That's my all.
Okay.
So now I'm just going to close off. Quickly. 82.2 gives me what? And bracket, because it's an expense, the 4277.50. What is my gross profit? Okay. I see my bad debts recovered, and now I'm going to block and top, so I'm going to add the 3. I total, and it gives me why 4? I get 7.
30127.
I think you wrote 4 here. Where did you get the 4? No, I want to see where your mistake is, that we can fix it. Okay. So, now I say the gross profit, plus the operating income is going to give me the gross operating income, which is how much?
395, 320.
So I literally plus those to give me this. Now all my expenses, I'm going to quickly total them. What is repairs?
1162. No.
Now you had to subtract the 37. 1125. Bank charges?
1809.
And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to block and top, and I must remember it's a bracket because it's an expense. So I block and top, and it gives me how much?
Yeah. It's going to be around there now.
4900, like that. Okay, now I'm going to take the gross operating income less the operating expense to give me the operating profit. Let me do it like, it doesn't want to come. There, I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to make it a bit smaller that we can see everything. So I'm literally going to say 395 minus 49902 whatever is going to give me operating profit. How much?
345, 413.
345 400.
413.
Don't shout at me. Okay, now what's my interest income? It's 3947. I am going to add those two to give me this one, and it gives me what? 10, 6, 13, 9, 4, 3. I'm going to minus that one to give me net profit, which is 0.82322.